Hi everyone, and welcome to my presentation today of the 4 proven marketing systems every business must optimize to maximize revenue growth. If that's what you were looking for, you're in the right place, and we'll get started here in just a few minutes. Now's a great time if you'd like to get a drink of water or finish up that last second email, run to the restroom, any of that type of stuff. Please go ahead and do it now, and we'll get started here in just a few minutes. Thank you. Hi everyone, welcome again. We'll get going here in just another couple of minutes. We still got a lot of people logging on to the presentation, so we'll give everyone here just a minute to get settled in, and then we'll get rolling. Thank you. Okay, everybody, let's go ahead and get going. Again, the presentation today is the 4 proven marketing systems every business must optimize to maximize revenue growth. I've got a lot of information for you here today, so we're going to hustle through this presentation, and I'm going to do my best to keep it to an hour as promised. Just a few logistics here before we get going. One, if you have any questions, please type them in to the question box below this presentation, and I will receive those, and I will do my best to answer as many of them as I can at the end of this presentation. And those that I don't get the opportunity to answer, we will respond to you within 24 hours, either myself or someone on my team, to make sure that we get back to you. Let's see here. I will also be recording this presentation, so no need to be, furiously scribbling notes. I'll get you a recording, and you can watch it as many times as you'd like. And finally, if you hover over the image of the presentation here using your computer mouse, you will see on the lower right-hand side of the image of the presentation a little box. You can click on that, and it will expand this presentation into full screen mode on your computer screen, if that makes it easier for you to view. And at any time, you can just hit escape and go back to the normal view where you can access that question box if you'd like to. Okay, so let's go ahead and get going, everybody. In the next hour here, I'm going to teach you how you can dominate your market and take your income to entirely new levels. I work almost entirely with small businesses, and I work with them to leverage marketing and technology to achieve maximum results. All small businesses are resource constrained. Time, money, manpower, right? We're all hustling to do more with less. And I found that it's critical in order to get that maximum growth out of your business that you can. You've got to take advantage of the marketing systems and technology that are out there that can allow you to leverage those resources that you have to their fullest extent. Now, unfortunately, I found that 95% of small businesses across just about any vertical industry are missing at least 2 out of the 4 marketing systems that we're going to cover today that are critical to achieve maximum growth. So my bet is that amongst the folks who are on this presentation today, we have a lot of room for improvement. Now, why is that? Well, the competitive landscape for business has changed dramatically, particularly over the last 10 years. We've seen just dramatic changes in the way that we do business due to technology and the internet and software. So the landscape has changed, and so has the way your customers find and shop for your services or products. Unfortunately, businesses, and small businesses in particular, have been slow to adapt to these changes. So that's what we're going to do today. We're going to cover what those major changes are, and we're going to talk about the important systems that you need to make sure that you have in place to capitalize on these changes. So what are the 3 big drivers of change that I mentioned? Well, they are search, social, and mobile. And I'm sure these are all terms that you're familiar with. However, you may not be exactly familiar with how these things are impacting your business, how it's impacting how your consumers desire to do business with you, and the decisions that you need to make at your business to make sure that you're capitalizing on these changes. So let's go ahead and jump into them. Search, search engines didn't even exist 15 years ago. Now they are just a part of the way that we operate every single day, right? It's easier than ever to find information about products, services, companies, people, places, whatever it is that you're looking for. And search engines now are accessible from multiple devices, right? We can access search from our computers, from our iPads or tablets, and of course from our smartphones now when we're walking around or driving around. So information really has become incredibly accessible, and the search engines have become the predominant way that people now find information about those products and businesses. It's no longer the yellow pages, it's search engines. In fact, 92% of consumers have more confidence in the information found online than they do in anything from a sales clerk or other source. So in other words, what this is saying is not only are we finding our information online, but we actually trust it more than the information that we get directly from businesses, right? And that makes sense. When information is coming from a business directly, we feel like they're selling us or advertising to us, right? So we have more faith in the information that we find in search engines than we do from information directly from the businesses. Now, social is the second major factor. And if search engines have grown fast, well then, social media sites are just absolutely on fire. It's unbelievable, the growth in social. And connecting and sharing with others and sharing our opinions with others has never been so easy. And those opinions are highly visible, right? People spend a lot of time in the search engines each day. So what's being shared with them is very, very visible, now very much a part of people's everyday lives. And because of that, the search engines are also paying attention. So Google and Bing, the MSN search engine, and Yahoo, they're all trying to find ways to capture that information that's being created and shared within the social media sites to make sure that it's also being incorporated in the data that you get from the search engines. So the important thing that you need to know about this is that it's easier than ever for people to create and share information about how they feel about your business and your products and your services. So the content about your business that's out there on the web is largely not being created by you anymore. It's the consumers that are the publishers of that information. And that's a major, major impact on how we do business. In fact, look at this statistic. 70% of consumers consult reviews or ratings online before purchasing. Okay, and that comes from a document called Zero Moment of Truth that was published by Google in 2011. So social is having a huge impact on how people make buying decisions. And then the third major factor is mobile. And this may be the biggest game changer of all. Okay, and why is that? Well, it was one thing when we had access to all this great information on our computers. But the reality is, most people are not sitting at their computers 24 hours a day. They're up and about and, traveling around town, going to meetings, whatever it is that they're doing, shopping. Now they have access to all of this information in the palm of their hands no matter where they're at, and they're using it. Mobile search gives that immediate gratification that people are looking for. So if you're not present on mobile, and if you don't understand how mobile is changing people's buying behavior, your competitors will eat your lunch. In fact, the statistics, look at this. Mobile searches have quadrupled in the last year according to Google. 1 in 7 searches are now mobile. So you add all of this up, and it's easier than ever for consumers to quickly research and compare various products and services. This is a screenshot from a site called TripAdvisor that I'm sure many of you have been to. TripAdvisor has become incredibly powerful in the hospitality industry because of all of the reviews and feedback that are posted in its site about the various hotels and restaurants and places to visit around the world that are out there. I know, for me personally, when we travel and plan a vacation, TripAdvisor is a place that I spend a lot of time doing my research. And it really, really, really has an impact on the decisions that I make about the places that I want to stay. So the hospitality industry has been dramatically impacted by TripAdvisor and some similar sites. But it's not just the hospitality industry, it's all industries. The companies that get it, the companies that understand this and know how to optimize the way that they work with these three factors are crushing the companies that don't. So the big question for you is, how do you strategically work with these three big drivers of change to make sure you come out on top in your industry? And it means that now more than ever, you need to have a marketing plan that works. When I talk to small businesses, they say, man, there's so much going on, there's so much technology out there's so much change happening so fast, and it's not like I have the time to sit around and study this stuff and work on this stuff all day, every day. How do I keep up? How do I make decisions about what I should be doing at my business? Well, my approach is to simplify the challenges that these businesses face and clarify the approach for success. And I do that by suggesting that there are just these 4 key marketing systems that you must impact or you must maximize at your business. And I refer to this as the R4 marketing framework. And you can see it here, just a very simple triangle, and you can see why it's called the R4 marketing framework. Each of those words there begin with the letter R. And it starts at the bottom with reputation, and then there's reach, resell, and referral. And you'll notice that arrow looping back around to the bottom there, pointing back to reputation. And that's an important arrow there. So the idea behind this triangle is that at the base of it is reputation. Reputation is what people think about us and about our businesses and our products and our services. Now, we all know that reputation has always been important in business, but it's now more important than ever, and we'll explain why. But the big reason why is because it's never been easier for people to share what they feel about your business online. So that information about your reputation, those feelings about your reputation, and how you deliver your products and services can now spread like wildfire. Next is reach. Reach is making sure that you're getting in touch with more of your qualified prospects every single day. Okay, it's pretty obvious that if you want to grow your business, you need to get more of your targeted prospects to know who you are, right? Because if they don't know who you are, they can't buy from you. Okay, so reach is the process and the systems that we use to get in touch with more prospects and let them know about our business. Then there's resell. Resell is making sure that we maximize the lifetime value of every customer that we get by continuing to resell them our products and services, to upsell them to more expensive products and services, and to cross-sell them to other complementary products and services. So resell, upsell, and cross-sell to maximize the lifetime value of a client or customer. And then finally, there's referral. Okay, we all know how valuable referrals are, right? I mean, if we could just grow our business through referrals, through all the positive word of mouth that we're getting out there in the marketplace, that would be the easiest and best way to grow our business. Unfortunately, that's typically not enough, right? But there's oftentimes so much more that we can be doing to generate referrals at our business if we're proactive and thoughtful about our approach. So those are the 4 R's of this R4 marketing framework. And the idea behind it, again, is keeping it simple, keeping it focused, right? If you focus on enhancing your reputation at your business, reaching out to new prospects every day, reselling, upselling, and cross-selling those customers that you do get, and then delivering a fantastic customer experience so that you get more referrals. Well, those referrals are essentially people saying positive things about you, which is enhancing your reputation and making this whole process easier to move up the pyramid. Okay? So by focusing on these 4 R's, we can achieve maximum growth at our business. In fact, what I have found is that any of these 4 R's can lead to 25% growth, annual growth on their own at just about any business. But maximizing and optimizing all 4 of them is where you can get to 100% growth or more. There really is a compounding effect. And this is where you see those businesses in any industry that seem to just be growing so much faster than the rest of the industry, and they seem to be doing everything right. Well, those businesses are maximizing these 4 R's. Whether they're conscious of it or not, they've hit the nail on the head, and they're maximizing, maybe not even all of those 4 R's, maybe 3 out of 4. And that's allowing them to grow much faster than the rest of their industry. And like I said, you can see that in any industry out there. So let's go ahead and dive into each of these and talk about specific strategies and tactics to make sure that you are maximizing each of these 4 R's, starting with reputation. And there's a reason that the reputation is at the base of that pyramid. I really do believe that it is the foundation of marketing going forward. Why is that? Well, it's easier than ever for consumers to find the feedback of other consumers to help them make a decision about who to buy from. And you'll see all kinds of sites out there that rate businesses, right? There's the Yelps of the world. Google actually has ratings built into its search engine. I showed you TripAdvisor earlier. All kinds of ways for people to review businesses and review products and services and find out what other people think. In fact, 70% of consumers say that the feedback they find online is the number 2 factor in making a decision about who to work with or visit, or buy from. 7 out of 10 who read reviews share them with friends, family, and colleagues. Okay, so these reviews are getting passed around now that we have this social world that we live in. And 74% of U.S. consumers say that they choose to do business based on online feedback. So the reality is that everyone is out there talking. And the question is, who's talking about you and what are they saying? But make no mistake, they are talking. I like this title of this book from Pete Blackshaw. Satisfied customers tell 3 friends, angry customers tell 3,000. Okay, you may have heard something along the lines of before that, an angry or dissatisfied customer would tell 10 people for every 1 person that a satisfied customer would tell. Well, now because of social media, those reviews and those negative feelings are so easy to pass around that an unhappy customer will get online, get on the social media sites, and tell thousands of their closest strangers on the internet. So people are talking about you, and they're talking about your business. I mean, who? Customers, prospects, competitors, disgruntled employees, ex-spouses, former business partners and investors. and then what we call the trolls, which are just the permanently aggrieved. These are the people that just love to get online and beat up businesses, it seems like, for no good reason. This gentleman is a perfect example of the way people are out there talking about businesses and sharing their feelings about businesses. You can see this gentleman has a video camera attached to the dashboard of his car. He's driving away from a restaurant that he's just eaten at, and he's leaving a restaurant review while he's driving away from it. And you think, well, big deal. Let this guy say whatever he wants. Who's going to pay attention to that? Well, you may be able to see here down below, 35,000 people have viewed this video. So people are really paying attention to this kind of information, and you can't just ignore it. In fact, reviews are now at the center of search. And this is a copy of a TechCrunch article saying that Google acquires Zagat to flesh out local reviews. I'm sure you're all familiar with the Zagat guides, the books that were published to, review bars and restaurants and hotels all around the world. For people traveling to a new city, these guides were indispensable for a long time. Well, the value that they had was all of these other people's ratings and consumers and reviews captured in this book, so that if you were traveling to a new city for the first time, you could find the places that you thought would be best to go and visit and kind of lower your risk of, getting lost in this new city and ending up in the wrong places. Well, Google realized that that was the most important information that they could present to searchers to help them make their buying decisions. Right? It was the opinions of other people. And there's good reason for that. The data shows 90% of online consumers trust recommendations from people they know, which makes sense, right? We all trust those recommendations we get from friends and family. But look at this, 70% of online consumers trust unknown users, people we don't even know, while at only 14% of online consumers trust advertising. Okay, so there's a huge gap between the advertising that we're doing to get customers and how people trust that versus the reviews of other people. And that's why Google bought Zagat and is now incorporating reviews at the center of their search engines. This is a screenshot that I did. I just typed in Denver plumbers into the search engine in Google. Okay, just to see what comes up. Well, what comes up is the Google local listings, which if you do a search for any business in Google now, or any type of business, category of business like Denver plumbers or Denver pizza restaurants or anything like that, you'll see these local reviews. And the local reviews will have the local businesses there in that category. They'll have the addresses and phone numbers. There'll be an image of a map to show you where they're located. But what's most important is to look at this. There are now, everything that I've circled in review there, circled in red there, is a review score of these businesses based on the reviews of past customers of that business. Now, what's really, really, really frightening, and this is an interesting case study here, is this second plumbing company, Applewood Plumbing, Heating and Electric. They spend an awful lot of money on marketing in the Denver area. You can see by all the ads that they run and things like that. So they're spending a lot of money. However, look at the review score that Applewood has from previous customers. They have a 3 out of 30 on 52 reviews. That, by any measure, is a failing grade. A 3 out of 30. So they're spending all of that money on marketing to drive people largely to the search engines, because people search in the search engines before they make a decision to buy. And what do they see? They see that the far majority of Applewood's past customers that have gone on here and left a review are completely dissatisfied with the service that they receive from Applewood. So I think you can see now why I say that reputation is the foundation of marketing going forward, because it doesn't matter what Applewood Plumbing does with their marketing at this point. All they're doing is driving people to see the negative reviews about their business. And how would you feel if you went and searched about this business and here were the reviews that you found? Poor to fair, poor to fair, poor to fair. All right? And if you read the details of the reviews, they're largely just beating up Applewood Plumbing for poor service. So poor Applewood Plumbing, no matter what it does with the rest of its marketing, no matter how well it does with those other 3 R's, is going to run head on into a serious problem growing their business because of their poor reputation. So your goal is to make sure that you have a 5-star reputation at your business. Okay, that should be your first goal, is to make sure that you have a 5-star reputation at your business. Now, how do you do that? Well, I think that the most important and controllable thing that you can do, besides, of course, making sure that you deliver great products and services, right, which you absolutely should be focused on, but the next step is to contribute. Contribute to the conversation about your business in a meaningful way. Now, what do I mean by that? I mean that you can't control what people are saying about your company, right? I mean, that's largely up to the individual. No matter how good of a job you do with your products and services, some people are going to say negative things. It's just a fact of life in being in business. But you can make sure that you're adding enough good content to the conversation that is taking place online to ensure that the ratio of positive content out there versus negative content that's out there is in your favor. Okay? What I mean by that is you should strategically make sure that you are getting content online that is supportive of your brand and positive about your brand, so that when a consumer does do a search, they find good things about your company and not just a bunch of bad reviews. The first step to doing this is to take ownership of the profiles in all of your key directories and networks. Okay? So what I mean by directories and networks, I'm talking about sites like Yelp, like I mentioned before, LinkedIn, the Google Plus Local reviews listings that I just showed you a minute ago are absolutely most important, since those are a part of the Google search engine. But depending on what business you're in, maybe a site like TripAdvisor, certainly Facebook, Twitter, things like that, you want to make sure that you have a company presence where you need to have it, that you have taken control of that presence, and that you are making sure that the information that's in these listings and directory sites is complete and accurate. Okay, because you may not even realize it. You have a company listing in just about all of these sites already, and many more, right? The super pages, the yellow pages sites online, they've all created listings about just about every business out there. But if you have not taken control of it, that means that the information on there may be wrong, it may be incomplete, you may be getting bad reviews from customers up there and not even know it, not even having a chance to respond to them. Okay, so you've got to take ownership of these profiles to make sure that you can control the message that's on there. And that's exactly what you want to do. You want to publish your own story about your business. You want to make your own news. You want to post on good, positive, helpful subjects that will help your clients and customers and prospects. And you want to add social media sharing buttons to all of that content to make sure that people can spread the good word about your business. So how can you do that? Well, some examples here. Make educational videos and post them to YouTube. Video is incredibly powerful. Video is continuing to grow at just an absolutely amazing rate. And look at this statistic. Any given video stands about a 50 times better chance of appearing on the first page of results in the search engines than any given text page. Now, why is that? Well, that's because the search engines are smart, and they've studied the data, and they've seen that searchers who find a video are generally much more engaged with that content than they are with text. People like to watch videos more than they like to read. So the search engines are showing more and more videos in the search engines to be relevant to what people are looking for. So if you can create content about your business, which I'm telling you, any business can create good video content to share with their customers, creating video content will give you a real leg up in the search engines. It's a great way to connect with your prospects and customers. All right, next, you should build a review collection system for your business. Okay? You don't want to just leave it to chance that people are going to give positive reviews about your business. You want to be absolutely proactive and methodical about getting positive reviews and referrals at your business, and make sure that those things are getting published online. It's a fascinating stat here. Reviews on a site can boost conversion by 20%, which just means that if people go to your site and they find a positive review, they are 20% more likely to purchase something or contact you when they see that positive review. So you want to make sure that you are proactive in capturing the feelings of positive, satisfied customers and making sure that those feelings get shared online. So the big takeaway here regarding reputation is now the foundation of effective marketing. It's no longer enough to do good work. It's no longer enough to have good products and services. Okay? Those things, of course, are important, but you must proactively develop and market your reputation online. Okay? You've got to make sure that those good feelings about your products and services and business end up online so that other people can find them. All right, so that's reputation. Let's talk about reach next. Now, as I said, when you've got that positive reputation, you want to make sure that you're reaching out to as many prospects as you possibly can to let them know the good word about your products and services. Okay? If you're not reaching out to more prospects every day, then the chances of you growing your business long term are pretty slim to none. So let's talk about reach via social media. There are obviously all kinds of ways to reach your target prospects and customers. I mean, there's direct mails, there's doing radio advertising, TV advertising, there's sponsoring local events. I mean, there's tons of ways. But we're going to dive into a couple here, starting with social media. Okay? Social media is just, incredible, the growth it's experienced. 712% since 2005. Right? And that's, probably just about the time frame, maybe, a year after, Facebook was kind of coming onto the scene. So since then, the growth has just been, ridiculously fast. 66%, of adult internet users access social media, and in 2005, this was true of only 8%. On Facebook, there are now 155 million plus Facebook users in the U.S. and over 1 billion throughout the world. I mean, Facebook is now one of the largest countries in the world. So chances are, no matter who your target audience is, you can reach them on Facebook. And I know a lot of you probably don't think that Facebook is a viable advertising opportunity for you, but I hope to challenge you on that because I've seen Facebook work in just about every industry out there now. So let's talk about 6 reasons to advertise on Facebook. Number 1 is reach. As I said, just a massive number of people are on social media sites, particularly Facebook. So you can reach huge numbers of every group of consumer out there, every type of person out there. And Facebook and social media give you multiple ways to engage with them. So again, whatever industry you're in, whatever group that you're going after, I'm positive you can reach them on Facebook. Next is precision targeting. Facebook's advertising interface is absolutely amazing. If you've never run ads in there, you really should jump in there just to see. You can target people by location, including zip codes and area codes, by age, by birthday, by education, and not just education as like they were a college graduate. I mean, you can target specific classes at specific universities. You can target them based on the connections that they have, based on their demographic information, based on their interests and psychographic information, even on things like their relationship status. So you can get really, really precise in the way that you target people in Facebook. Cost control is super important, particularly for small businesses. I mean, you can advertise on Facebook for as little as $20, $25 a day. So you can control how much you spend for each campaign. The budgets can be very low, as I said. And because of that better targeting, you're getting less wasted spend because you're really doing a rifle precision shot at the people that you're trying to reach versus just kind of doing a shotgun blast, to everybody that you typically do in more of a mass media advertising form. And that speaks to number 4 here, cost efficiency. Okay, so you've got that precision targeting. You've also got an incredible level of measurability of everything that you're doing. Everything in online advertising can be measured, which means that it can be optimized. Okay, so dollar for dollar, there's really no better way to get the word out than through these advertising platforms. Facebook in particular is very simple to use. It's got a great user interface that makes it just a real breeze to set up and get going. If you've used Google AdWords in the past, it's much easier than that. So very simple and a nice advertising platform. And then one of the most powerful things, maybe the most powerful thing about advertising on Facebook is this idea of interest targeting. Okay? Typically, in advertising, what you can do is you can target people by demographic information. Where they live, how old they are, how much income they make, things like that. But advertising starts to become so much more powerful when you can reach people based on their interests, right? So that's the power of Facebook. I mean, everybody that's in Facebook posts everything about their life in there, right? The things they like, the things they don't like, the places they like to go visit, all that good stuff, all gets posted in Facebook. So now you can customize your advertising to really target that information, right? Which just makes it really powerful. So let me share with you one of the most powerful ways to advertise on Facebook that every business should be taking advantage of, and these are called sponsored story ads. Okay, sponsored story ads essentially convert a user's activity into ads and display the ads to friends of that user. Okay, so that's a mouthful. Let me explain what I mean. And you'll, if you hop onto your Facebook account, you will more than likely find one of these sponsored stories in your feed within a minute or two. So you can see here in this case, Jessica Gronsky was at Starbucks and liked Starbucks. Well, Starbucks paid Facebook to turn that into an ad to show all of Jessica's friends that she liked Starbucks. Okay? So anytime you like something on Facebook, that can be turned into an ad and shown to your network of friends on Facebook. Now, why would Starbucks want to do that? Well, because Starbucks knows that, Jessica and her friends have things in common. So, Facebook or Starbucks knows that they should show that Jessica likes Starbucks to all her friends and family, and most likely they're going to get other people to like Starbucks as well. So these sponsored story ads typically are geared to increase the likes for your business. So if you have a Facebook profile for your business there, then you can get, likes from more people. And it's a really nice advertising vehicle because it tightly fits into how people use Facebook. It doesn't really show up as this big ad. It just kind of fits in to the rest of the things that are displayed into your stream. And most importantly, you're now targeting people based on psychographics versus just demographics, as we talked about before. Because Jessica and her friends will tend to have interests in common, right? That's what friends do. So you're now getting the benefit of targeting specifically other people that have similar psychographic profiles as the person who just liked your page. So this is incredibly powerful. In fact, Facebook sponsored stories have an 18% lower cost per fan than direct ads. And they have a 53% higher click-through rate than direct ads. So it's a really powerful form of advertising, and it's powerful, like I said, based on this idea that you're sharing somebody's specific experience with your brand with other people who are much more likely to like your brand as well than just the general population that you would be advertising to. So the ads end up being much more effective. This is a super powerful and very simple form of advertising that you can take advantage of on Facebook. And the big takeaway here is, your audience really is socially active online no matter who you're targeting. If you're not reaching them via social media, I'm telling you that your competitors are. And this is a simple form of advertising. It's very accessible, very easy to do, doesn't take a lot of money, and is not very time consuming. So all of you should be taking advantage of it. All right, next let's talk about reach via mobile. Reach via mobile. As I said before, mobile may be the biggest game changer of the three big factors, search, social, and mobile. Let's talk about why that is. Well, mobile searches have quadrupled in the last year according to Google. 1 in 7 searches are now mobile. And the average user spends an average of 2 hours a day on their mobile phone. That number seems light to me, and it's probably because I'm one of these people here. They refer to people as having nomophobia, which is the fear of being out of mobile phone contact. And almost 66% of smartphone subscribers admit to sleeping with their phones. And I have to admit, I'm one of these people. I've got my phone with me at all times, and I'm checking it at all times. And mobile phones and smartphones really have become something that people are just attached to the hip. So reaching people via mobile is incredibly important, particularly if you're running a business that's local in nature. 1 in 3 mobile searches are local in nature, which just means that they're looking for the local restaurant or the pizza shop, and trying to find driving directions or the phone number. Okay, and after looking up a business via mobile, 61% result in a phone call and 59% result in a visit. So people really are taking immediate action when they search for a business on their mobile devices. 6 in 10 prospects have said that they will leave your site if it's not mobile friendly. And 52% of users say a bad mobile experience makes them much less likely to engage with a business. So your goal is to make sure that you have a mobile friendly website that can easily be found and the information on it be easily accessed. Okay, so this is a good example of actually a mobile site that is not easy, right? I mean, if you're looking at this on your mobile phone, I mean, look at all that text. It's not easy to read. It's not easy to navigate. And unfortunately, this actually comes from a website designer, which isn't a good sign. So you want to here's a couple of good examples of how you can make a mobile site much more easy to use and accessible. So you can see on the left-hand side again. Here's this site called How to Designs, and this was their before picture. You can see lots of small text there and just cluttered and very hard to navigate through and really understand what you're looking at. Versus on the right is their redesign, where they're taking advantage of these big buttons and clear images and very, very, very limited text to make it very easy for someone to navigate through their site. So you want to do the same for your business. You want to make sure that you are easily found on mobile devices because, again, so many searches are now taking place on mobile devices. You've got to make sure that your website is ready to be viewed by those mobile searchers, or you are missing out on a ton of consumer visibility. So the big takeaway here, consumers don't want to be disconnected from their phones. This addiction gives you a chance to stay connected to consumers wherever they go, and you have the opportunity to reach your audience without making them step out of their daily routine, right? If they can just pick up their phone, pick up their mobile device, and find your business easily and connect by making a phone call or getting directions to your business, then they are much more likely to work with you. All right, the third R is resell. And again, resell, that actually encompasses reselling, upselling, and cross-selling. Anything that you're doing there to make sure that once you get a customer, you're maximizing the lifetime value of that customer. Okay? So let's talk about resell via mobile again real quick. Okay, mobile, as I said, maybe the biggest factor of the 3 that we need to be paying attention to. 87% of Americans have mobile phones. 73% say it's their number 1 most used technology device. And 25% of all U.S. households have ditched their landlines, their home phone lines altogether. I know I did several years ago. So mobile has just become a part of our culture. Now, how do you resell via mobile? Well, I think SMS text messaging is one of the most powerful ways that I've seen to date and can be used by so many businesses. SMS messages are just those text messages that you send and receive on your phone, right? Well, there's 6.1 trillion text messages sent and received in 2010, and that number is growing pretty dramatically. SMS text messages are capable of reaching 91% of the U.S. population because that is a capability that's built into almost every single mobile phone that's made. So, why use SMS? Well, instant deliverability. Those messages, will instantly arrive. It's a very flexible, easy-to-use platform. Your consumers have very easy ways to opt in and opt out, so they can get off your list if they really don't want it. So, make sure that you're playing by the rules. there's very high open and conversion rates, meaning that just about everybody opens their SMS messages and they take action on what they find. And SMS messages are very, very low effort to create and send, right? It's just super simple, just a little bit of text. So the reality is that those reasons to use SMS that I just mentioned, the results are super powerful. I mean, 97% of all SMS marketing texts are opened. 95 to 98% of text messages are read within minutes of receipt. Compare that to email. Okay, we all know the power. Well, we should all know the power of email marketing. If you don't, email marketing is just a massive, massive business generator. But look, it's 33% of email addresses change on a yearly basis, right? Which makes it difficult to keep in touch with people via email. And if you look at the open rates for email, the average open rates for email are down now around 5%. Only 5% of emails actually get opened, compared to 97% of all SMS marketing texts getting open. So it's easier to reach them. It's a more effective way to reach them. People are keeping their cell phone numbers for life, so you have a list that lasts for a long, 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 long time. Okay, so SMS is incredibly powerful. Let's talk about a few specific ways that businesses can use SMS. One is appointment reminders. So if you have any type of business where you are reliant upon appointments, so a dental office, a chiropractic office, a massage therapist, things like that. People are, they set an appointment to come to your business. Well, as you know, no-shows are a huge killer of profitability at your business. If people don't show up for their appointment, that's just an hour that you've wasted where you could have taken care of another paying customer. Well, SMS reminders sent to their cell phones prior to their appointment are shown that they can reduce no-shows by 50% or more, which means that you can save a ton of money and put it back in your business or into your pocket, right? So SMS reminders delivered right to those phones are a great way to get people to show up for their appointments. Mobile coupons are another very powerful form of marketing that most businesses can take advantage of. Mobile coupons are 10 times more likely to be redeemed than traditional coupons. So you're getting people to take much more action with mobile coupons than traditional print coupons. And then geo-targeting. Geo-targeting means that you can automatically send text coupons to people when they're within the vicinity of a certain geographic location. So how powerful is that? If somebody is within 5 miles of your pizza shop, let's say, you can send them a message saying, hey, you're close, keep on coming, come on in and pick up your nice hot pizza, right? So how powerful is this? I mean, it really is just amazing that you can literally target people based on where they are at. And it doesn't have to be just your business. I mean, what if they're within 5 miles of a competitor? Maybe that's when you want to send them your coupon or your ad to get them, to pay attention to you instead of the competitor that they were getting close to. So text messaging is super, super powerful. It's one of the most, or actually is the most popular form of communication among consumers on electronic devices. And your audience is almost guaranteed to get and to read your SMS text message. So every business should begin building their text list today so that they can explore the marketing opportunities that are out there via SMS text. All right, the fourth R is referral. And again, referral is getting those happy customers to say good things about you and share the good word about your products and your service and your business to other prospects in the marketplace. These are the easiest form of or easiest way to get new customers, right? When you get good hot referrals and you get those people coming in that are already pre-sold. So we'd all take as many of these as we can possibly get. In fact, the New York Times says 65% of new business comes from referrals, and 41% of businesses count on referrals for over 80% of their sales. So referrals are incredibly important. So the question is, how can you proactively drive referrals instead of just hoping that they come to you, right? Because that's one of my favorite sayings in business is that hope is not a strategy. We want to have a proactive method to drive more referrals instead of just hoping that we'll get more. To do that, you need to understand that good customer service doesn't always equate to referrals. Okay? 83% of satisfied customers are willing to refer products and services, but only 29% actually do. Why is that? Well, it doesn't really matter the reason why. What matters is that you must leverage a proactive referral system if you're going to get more of those referrals. Okay, you obviously can't just leave it up to the consumers, because even though 83% says they would, only 29% actually do. Okay, word of mouth is based off of chance, versus a referral system is something that's predictable, consistent, and repeatable that you control. Okay, a referral system is a methodical process that captures qualified prospects through your association with people. So how do you generate referrals in a repeatable system? The simple answer is that you ask for them. 91% of clients would give a referral but have never been asked. Okay? Most of us just do not take the time to actually ask for people to share their feelings with their friends and family about, how about their experience with your business and your products or services. So it's really pretty straightforward. You've got to just incorporate the message about your referral opportunities into referral cards, postcards, social media, your website, and make sure that your happy customers see them and see the opportunities to refer your business. Okay? Because again, if it's difficult at all, or if they just feel like they haven't been asked, then they will not leave a referral. But it's been proven that if you just give people a simple opportunity to share their good feelings about your business, then a much higher percentage of people will. So let me share with you a couple of examples. Here's a direct mail piece. It says, "Hey Turkey, give thanks to yourself with some free months." And this just says, refer some friends to the Dollar Shave Club, and you'll get some free months of you get a free month of Dollar Shave Club razors for every friend that you sign up. And so any business can take advantage of this. Super simple. This just comes in their package when the razors come to your house. You can also do this online, right? Incorporate referral requests into contests, coupons, and other viral promotions on your website and on social media pages such as this one from REI on Facebook, so that the good things that people say about you can virally be spread to other people. All right, the big takeaway, referrals are great, but are hard to depend on if you can't make them predictable. So it's your job to design a repeatable system that captures the referrals when your customers are thrilled. Right? When they're happy, you want to take advantage of that by giving them a simple vehicle to share those positive feelings with others. So you've just got to make it as easy as possible, and you've just got to ask. All right, so those are the 4 levels of the R4 marketing framework: reputation, reach, resell, and referral. And I hope you can see that by just focusing on these 4 areas and maximizing and optimizing these 4 areas, we can take our business to dramatically higher levels of growth. So, are you doing everything you can to grow your business? Well, the far majority of times when I ask that question, the answer is no. Why is that? Well, again, we're small businesses, we're resource constrained. Okay? Many times it's just a lack of awareness of the options that are available to you, or it's a lack of time or budget, or just manpower and expertise there at your company. You're busy, creating whatever product or service it is that you do for a living, and you don't have time to think about or implement all of these new marketing strategies and systems at your business. Well, what's the problem with that? The problem is that the gap between those that really get it and are taking advantage of the online marketing strategies, the technology, taking advantage of the search, the social, and the mobile that we discussed. Well, the gap between those that get that and those that don't is widening. The companies that are taking advantage of those 3 factors with proven marketing systems are crushing their competition. So when I speak to small businesses out there about this topic, and those who have gone through this presentation or something similar to it, I find that 90% realize that they aren't growing like they should. right? Just about every small business owner out there that I speak to says, yeah, man, we should be doing more. We're not growing, as fast as we'd like. It's been tough, years. It's been a tough economy. I'm not making the money that I need to. That's a common theme amongst almost every business owner that I speak with. But only 50% of those people realize that they need to make a change. And what I mean by that is that so many small business owners think that, oh, it's the economy, or somebody else has some product or service that gives them a real advantage and that's why they're not growing. Well, in most cases, it's not the economy. It's not the products or services that you're competing against. Every small business out there that I see has the opportunity to grow much faster than they are, regardless of economic conditions or competitive forces. Okay? But the challenge is that it's you that has to make that change. You can't wait around for the economy to get better. You have to look at your business and say, am I taking full advantage of these marketing systems or not? And if not, what could I be doing better? And how do I get started today? And that's the issue. Only 20% realize that being strategic about their marketing is the difference. As I said, it's not the products and services. Most of you have great products and services. It's not the economy. Okay? In every industry right now, there's a business that's growing like wildfire in spite of an economy, in spite of a bad economy or tough economic conditions. Okay? It's not the economy. It's taking advantage of all of the marketing systems and capabilities that are out there for your business to optimize to fuel your growth. So if you are a part of that 20%, if you are a part of the 20% that is absolutely committed to creating maximum growth at your business and recognizes that, yeah, the economy may be tough. Yeah, there may be, tough competition out there, but really there are a lot of things that I can control and that I should be doing better. If you're one of those people, I'd love to get to know you and your business better. Okay? This is not a hard sales pitch. In fact, this is not even an invitation to work together. I'm very, very selective about who I work with, and there's all kinds of factors that go into making a decision about who I work with. But regardless, if you are of the mindset of being a really growth-oriented business owner and a growth-oriented entrepreneur, and you are committed to finding that growth no matter what it takes, then we're similar people. And I'd love to get to know you because that community of people is a lot of fun, very energetic, and is doing really positive things in our economy, in our communities, and for our individual businesses. And that is what I'm passionate about, and I would love to connect with you on this subject. So again, if you're one of those 20%, I'd love to connect. I've made it easy for you. You'll see a little button below this presentation, and that will take you to an opportunity to connect with me so that we can get to know each other a little better. Okay? All right, I see that we are coming up very, very closely on an hour here, and I appreciate your time and attention. There are a number of questions that have come in here. I'm going to try and get to a few of them here in the next few minutes to see what we can answer here. All right, so first one comes from Julie. Julie says, we have a restaurant. What do you think about using deals sites like Groupon and Living Social? Julie, I have very mixed feelings about those types of deal sites. Here's the reason why. The deal sites themselves are not bad. They're incredibly powerful, right? You can get a flood of customers coming your way. The problem is that most small businesses have completely failed to capitalize on that flood of new business that's coming. So now you're getting a whole bunch of new customers, but they're paying you much less money, and you're giving away a lot of that money to a Groupon or a Living Social, and you don't have the right follow-up systems to do effective reselling or cross-selling or upselling. You're not capturing the reviews of those happy customers when they're in your business. So if you're doing all of those things correctly, then these deal sites can be fantastic. The problem is that most businesses I meet with are not doing those things effectively. And then those deal sites can be really, really, a real challenge for your business because you just drive a flood of cheaper customers to your business. So you've got to be careful. I do say, though, that there are other sites out there other than Groupon or Living Social that give you much more control over this whole deals process, that allow you to keep higher margins, that allow you to limit the number of people who get these coupons to a certain number. And if you do that and you put all of the 4 R's in place that we discussed, then these can be very powerful for you. All right, let's see here. Second question from Jim. Jim says, which of the 4 R's do you think is most important to focus on? Jim, maybe you zoned out during the part of the presentation there focused on reputation. I do really believe that reputation is the foundation of marketing today. So generally speaking, I would say that reputation is the most important thing to focus on. Now, that being said, every business is different. I meet with lots of businesses every day that have fantastic reputations, but their businesses are not growing because they're not implementing any of the other R's. So if your business has a fantastic reputation but you're not growing, then I would look at the other R's to see what we can do. I hope that makes sense for you, Jim. Sarah says, we have some of the best products in our industry. Customers rave about them, but we aren't growing as fast as we want to. What gives? Okay, Sarah, so this is exactly what I was just mentioning there from Jim's question. If you have a great reputation, if people are saying great things about your products and services, but you're not growing as fast as you should, the reason why is you're not optimizing those other R's. Okay, so now that you've got a fantastic reputation, you should be finding new ways to reach out to new prospects every day to share that reputation. And with the customers that you're getting, you should be doing everything that you can to maximize their lifetime value through effective upsells and cross-sells and reselling, right? So again, it sounds like you've got great products and services. That's fantastic. We need to look at the other R's, okay? It's not enough just to have one system working for you. We need to look at the other R's and think about how we can maximize the results that you're getting from all of those R's. Okay, all right. Well, look, great questions, but I see here we are right on an hour, and I want to stay true to my commitment to be respectful of your time here. So we're going to go ahead and wrap this up, and I will get out to all of you who have unanswered questions and make sure that we follow up directly within 24 hours of this presentation. Somebody on my team will get in touch with you, or I will personally. Again, if you are focused on growth, if you can recognize these challenges at your businesses and say, yeah, I'm not growing as much as I'd like to be, as much as I feel as I should be, and you'd like to talk to me or somebody on my team about how we can potentially address that at your company, then I'd love to hear from you and love to just have a conversation to see if there's some sort of fit. Okay, thank you so much for taking your time to attend our presentation, and we'll look forward to speaking with all of you soon.